All right. I think I got it working. I have not streamed. Excuse me. I've not streamed.
Game Masters is a show all about making sure that we can showcase any of the events.
Yikes. Okay. All right. Hopefully this connection's okay. It's on Wi-Fi versus Ethernet. And I took a little bit longer than I thought. I forgot the stream key had changed, and so I couldn't connect on this device, so I had to troubleshoot a little bit. Can't see anything. Well, let's see. There we go. All right. Now, hopefully you see. Good. There we go. All right. Yeah, new angle. You can see the setup behind me. So this is like right next. This is actually a higher resolution camera. Anyway. So here's what we got going on. All right. So here's the sketch. We got the phone, right? I hold it up because if you put it on the ground, the shadow of the camera will impact it. So your hand or whatever. So, well, ideally you get it to kind of stand up. So let me get this set up over here. And let's see how that looks. Okay. All right. Access 1970. Yes. Thank you. You could see all the imperfections. Giant Egypt Man is back. Yes. Okay. All right. So hopefully this works. Okay. Actually, you know what? That's not what I wanted to do. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do either. Let's go ahead and do that. Get rid of that. Make sure. Let's save this as BOBA. And do BOBA. Got it. All right. Okay, so this is Honeydew Boba. You can see the distortion of the camera and all that, so I have to fix all that. So let's crop it and make it square again. Okay, but now you guys see that it's so I use the tools in different ways than most people do, I think. And that's weird. Why did it do that? That's odd. All right, let's save that, and now let's liquefy it. Why does it go back to that? How strange. That could be a problem later. Okay, let's do this. There we go. All right. Now let's see if I can liquefy this. Yeah, there we go. You can't see the only thing I think with this is that you guys can't see the cursor, so you're just seeing like the art change. I don't even know if you can see the liquefy. Okay, now I need to keep this in a separate window. So hopefully I can do that. Are you guys able to see when I liquefy? Barely. Not the circle. What does liquefy do? Liquefy allows you to just sort of move what's on the screen around, you know? My layer tree. I just have yeah, my layer tree. What? Hold on. Why can I not make this window smaller? Yikes. I'm not used to working on this device and streaming from it for sure. Why is this screen so large? Is where I'm going from. I'm gonna shrink it. There we go. All right. Okay. So the layer tree. Right now, I just have the art saved on 2 files. Hold on a second. I think I have double audio here. Is that better? So YE is like, so you have to understand, I never use Photoshop. I save no settings. I have no palette colors. Like, it's as if I opened up Photoshop for the first time. It's like the base settings. All right? Okay. So here we go. Now when I zoom in, do you guys also see it zoomed in? Let's see. Yes, great. So you at least see that. All right. Let's go back. So here's how I usually start. Layer tree. All right, I'm going to show you my layer tree because I guess that's important. let's try that. Okay. Although I think chat goes up there, so let's put that down there. All right. Okay. Let me know how this is for you guys there. Clip Studio Paint? No, this is just Photoshop 22. All right, so what I usually do is I'm going to darken this first. So go into Image, and what do? I go to I think I just did it. That was just an automatic. I think it's just levels, hue, saturation. It's levels. So I go into levels, hit auto. I'm going to darken it up, but also going to take this and make it white. So I'm just moving it to a more black and white kind of thing. And I will keep doing that until I get it to kind of where I want it to be. All right. So I've got that, and I see a warm tone on this, so I usually just pick a color over here, like this blend, whatever. What is this called? What is this tool called? Gradient? The gradient tool. All right, thank you. And let's go to multiply. And I pick two colors. Let's say like a warm orange, and the other color would be like a yellow. And it'd be yellow here. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Let's do a circle. That's incorrect. Reverse the colors. Something like that. Okay, but now let's pump it up. Pretty intense. Although it's not bad. That orange is a little vibrant, so let's just knock it down a little bit. A lot, actually. And now try again. Yeah, okay. So that's my base tone. Okay. And that's just multiply on top at 70% over layer 1, which is normal. So that's the weird thing about Photoshop, is that in the tools to the left, you can pick the mode, and then the mode you can also pick on the layers to the right. And so it's those combinations, like normal, I get, multiply, I get, multiply on normal, or normal on multiply. That's when it starts feeling like math to me, which is fine. I like math, but like sometimes it can just get overly complex. And then what I like about this is it basically has gotten rid of all the white sort of space on the on the illustration of the piece, and I'm working from just pure color. And if I introduce white, it will be for a specific reason, to draw highlights to that area. And now I've got this light that's permeated the scene. So even when I put green back in the armor, it will hopefully have this orange sort of hue on it. So how I do that is, I think I'd go and pick like a green. I don't know, BOBA FETT green, like that. Maybe take a brush and, all right, so that's normal. See how it obliterates everything? No good. So you gotta go to multiply, right? So this green over here has yellow in it, and this green over here is darker and has red in it, so it's more of a brown. Does that make sense? DJ Mittens takes notes. You're going to be very confused, DJ Mittens, that's for sure. YOD. I feel anxious seeing it all done in one layer. Yeah. If I add more layers, I usually flatten it. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. You should not. So that was already kind of, it feels a little dark to me, but, all right. The color I picked is lighter, but when you introduce the orange, it gets darker. So let's go ahead and knock that opacity down, because I'm really looking for midtones right now, and I can go to a darker green later. So I've created like the base under colors. Now I'm going to lay down all the midtones, right? And I do need some reference on BOBA FETT for the colors, so let's just pull that up. Okay, helmet's mostly green. Now the trick is, because it's multiply and it's at under 100%, I have to do everything one stroke. If I go back and do it, if I stop there and then do that, you get this effect, right? No good. All right, so you gotta, and I'm sure there's a way to not do what I'm doing, but this is the way I just handle it. All right, I'm just kind of doing flats. What people call flats is just picking out the areas that are the local colors, devoid of any weathering, right? And I believe like there's a bunch of stuff here. Let's go ahead and block that in. And then there's stuff here. And and then there's like this burgundy maroon color. So we go in here. Not maroon enough for my taste. It's weird, the Cintiq screen, and I have dual screens here. The color's a little different, not color calibrated anything. So forgive me if this looks really strange on your devices as well. I think some of this is supposed to be yellow, but let's just go ahead and drop this in here for now. Okay, and then the gold, where's the gold? Okay. Just lighten, no. You know what? Let's do this. For now. Completely backwards way. But if I were painting, with real paint, this is kind of how I would approach it. Realize it doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. And then multiply. So I create layers essentially according to my needs, right? For the moment, rather than a strategic approach to coloring using Photoshop in general. All right. Now the blasters are going to be kind of this gunmetal, maybe a little more, yeah, something like that. Although that looks green, so let's not do that. Oh, that looks blue as well. The blue and green look very similar when covered with that kind of orange light glow. All right, so those are all local colors. I don't know what's going on the side of his helmet there. Kind of a silver, like the base tone of okay. That's not the color. Yeah, let's do that. And then his uniform, at least in the new show, was kind of darker. You can see this is where like the pencil sketch lines kind of help create that darkness. And I don't have to do it myself until later. I think that right now it's just all about getting paint color down in all areas. I don't know what color his cape is. Different color green, but for the purpose of what we're doing, let's just say it's that color green. Oh. You can sort of see how that green has changed based on the introduction of that orange light. Oh, very intense. All right, let's bring that down. Okay. So far, so good. And I'm just sort of darkening things away from the center. Okay. Just sort of adjusting my values. And painting, digital painting to me at least, is you're not drawing with lines so much as shapes. The lines come through as you add darker shapes next to lighter shapes. Okay. I like how Nightbot is insisting Ghibli does not draw professional work digitally. uh, art on a sleeve. How and when did you learn digital painting? I'm pretty sure I'm showing you guys that I am still I am still learning. All right, so okay, so I've kind of blocked out basic colors for him, so I know kind of where I'm working. I've got the light source, which is light coming through the frame here. He's going to cast a shadow. So that shadow, let's go ahead and make it, let's make it, all right. Let's cast a shadow down here. That. I feel like this whole face. Have a shadow, and then this entire element. All right. Now I'm like, I had those slats there, so I was going, right? Could do that. That I would put on a separate layer because I feel like that's a little advanced for me. Right. Anyway. And on this, I'm going to leave some of the areas in the background. I'm going to redo that. I want to leave some of the areas kind of, hold on, let me get a smaller brush. And I'm going to leave some of these areas, one little flecks of color, just the same way if I used a paintbrush, it would leave some areas not covered, right? Just add a little texture to it all. Right. And I feel like this has to be resolved. Head would cast a shadow. Right? How are we doing? This BOBA FETT works out. Well, here. Let's. At the end, we can liquefy and hold on a second. All right. Whoa. They changed liquefy. Okay. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Alignment grid? What the heck is all this? Oh my god. They've changed it all. I don't know what to do. All right, let me try that again. Liquefy. Oh, all right, now it worked. I must have been hitting the wrong. All right, so you can see before and after. Superhero Swimmer. This technology stuff can be complicated for the older generation. I'll just have you know, you young whippersnapper, I was there when Photoshop was first introduced. I saw all the colorists create the layer. I saw how the technology evolved. I just didn't pay attention. Even the different shadows would be layers, so I can manipulate them separately. Ah. All right, so 11:38. I think this should be a good video just for like old man tries to use Photoshop for first time. You know, so okay. Now yeah, so I will draw as much as I can on this one layer until I feel like until I start doing highlights or some special effects, color dodge or whatever. And I probably should save it at some point. Yikes. So let's go save our honeydew boba. Okay. And then just like a painting, you wouldn't use like pure white or pure black until you absolutely had to. So This is the, someone asked me earlier before, like, do you ever create a color palette? This is the color palette. So I've basically broken down the yellows, the midtones, the darkest browns, burnt umber. I see a lot of burnt umber. So now if I need a black, black color, I'll go down here and select it off the knee and then use that to essentially, you know, create other colors, right? Or other values, so to speak, right? And down here, like for instance here, so I'm going to get off the multiply thing, because what I don't like about multiply is if I do this, it creates a false, it creates everything on a translucent level. So at this point, I will shift to probably, well, multiply's not bad. What is it I want to do? Let's just go normal, but it's at 38%. So I think I'll have the same thing going on there. So I need to bump it up a little bit. All right. I don't know. I don't approach this the same way anytime I do it. So therein lies the rub. But I don't mind like these little gaps basically being exposed. I think they add character and give it a sort of a handcrafted look. And there's still a lot of cleanup work to be done. Right. This is still about establishing, there's like a device up here, so I'm going to fix that. Establishing the values. And that's where you get your sort of three-dimensional shapes and forms, right? So if you think about pouches here, the tops of the pouches are going to be more lit. And they'll get darker at the bottom. Let's go darker. The visor, so you guys get a sense of what that's going to look like. Right. And then probably want to darken this pillar. Start making it a different color as well. And then maybe I can lean into some of you Photoshop experts later. Like I want to add some bokeh, like little like particles in the air, especially at the bottom, kind of like as dust has flared up. I'm sure there's a way to do that. I don't know. I can approximate it. All right. Daniel J. Newman. Yeah, I'll get the intent in there. I'll do that for you right now. Okay. So it's all about shapes, and so this is the midtone here, dark. Oh, here, let me do it away so you can see it. So here's light tone here, mid tone there, darker tones here, right? So those are the three. So I'm just building up levels, right? Creating more and more of that going around. And so now I'm wondering if I put a blue shadow, what happens if I throw in a bit of blue here? Go white. Let's see what happens. I want to see what this looks like. Same thing. Wrong way. And right. So it gives me a little bit more, like rather than an all warm palette. Starts out warm on the left and kind of goes blue, but you know what? I'm gonna I don't like the white there. Let's go. Okay, let's try that. Let me try that on a different layer. See what happens there. Obviously, ooh, no. Let's try this. No. No. Oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. Interesting. Too saturated, but I kind of like. Yeah. Super dark on my Cintiq, but much brighter on my Apple screen. So let me see what it looks like for you guys. That's kind of all right. So I think it's probably a little too dark. So let me undo that and go to a smaller percentage. %. If I do it twice, too much. I think that's good because here's what it looks like without that. All right, now I'm getting a little more interest in color, a little more gradation of like warm to cool, and it just feels more realized. So at this point, I start doing. Oh, what the heck was that? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Right. Okay. Nova Prime X. Have I ever copied? I've drawn the Vitruvian Man. Yeah. Many times. Someone. Yeah, let me open up Streamlabs here. All right. Death R5. Death threat? No. Death R5? Death TR5? Winkle, DJ Mittens. VoIP Mailbot. Broken Robot Art. The Art of TK. Exploit. Blaze Poo. April Lover 9000. D Rogers 95. My Body Story. Hollins. Javento 3. D Calvin. J Roscoe. DMS Design have all subbed and supported the stream. Ganaz Gaz N7, Jedi B311, James Quo Draws, Superhero Swimmer Art have all also subbed and supported the stream. What the Fan Art has been super generous today, gifting 5 tier 1 subs to random folks. Very kind of you, What the Fan Art. And Johnny Boy R, I think I've mentioned this already, and Yohio Killer have also subbed. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Nova Prime X, why do you ask if I've drawn the Vitruvian Man? I've done it in a number of different things. So. Mr. Raha99, would you say Wildstorm and the others at Image Comics were the first to adopt digital coloring into comics? Yeah, I think Laverne Kandinsky from Digital Chameleon, Laverne Kandinsky, I think was his name. And obviously, who's the colorist that colored the American version of Steve Olive? He colored Akira when it came to the U.S. using digital computers. And but it was really slow back. It was like Apple FX computers. You would draw a line and you would wait a second, and then the line would appear on the screen. So it was not a simple, very different, obviously, than today. All right, so we're approaching noon. I have a couple appointments, so I'm gonna have to stop this, and I'm gonna do a little bit more. Just to kind of show you, take a slice and kind of show you kind of it more fully realized. But we'll do this next weekend, come back to it. It was kind of fun doing this. So here's where, okay, so, okay, let's focus on the armor, okay? Let's, so it's a mix. This is a mix between the really clean look that's in the new series and kind of the more weathered look that he had in the movies. So, for instance, let's us take a look at. Wow, his helmet's a lot wider. Yeah. So here's where liquefy is going to come in handy. Watch this. Okay. So you can see kind of what it looks like now, pre-liquefy, with liquefy, right? All right, so let's go in. I'm going to show you in the remaining few minutes here of this stream what I'm going to do with the chest plate, or the whole piece, but I wanted to pull up reference. Okay, so here's an example of what this will look like. probably create another layer and put that at the very top. I'm going to draw on this layer in normal. So this is going to supersede all other. So it also gives me a chance to kind of clean up what's going on. So I'll go in and do that. That would do nothing. That's not good. Let's go back up to like 73%. All right. All right, see how that looks? But I would also, boy. All right, and then I would change this to like a color dodge here, bring that opacity down quite a bit. That's why I like to do it all at once, because I don't want to go back and forth and keep manipulating kind of the right? So maybe a little bit more. Oh, you know what? I can't do that on that layer. I do it over here. Maybe I can do it on this layer. No, it's got to be this layer. Except I've already covered it up with paint. All right. Hopefully you can see this. But see how I'm catching the angles? Right. So at this point, though, I'm going to merge these three layers here, because I don't like having to like jump around and try to guess what I'm doing. I know this is not the way people work, but we'll merge those. Yeah, great. All right, so now I can go in with this, and I thought I could. Yeah, it's there. So the idea is, what's going on? Why is this not capturing what I want it to do? Maybe it just needs to be stronger. Normally it's not an issue. Right? So the idea is just to have that light catch the edges there, and now you can start seeing how it feels more 3D. And you can do like kind of weathering effects there. There we go. All right, so you can kind of see how it now feels a little more three-dimensional. And I don't mind going in like with normal and just drawing over kind of what's there. All right. I don't mind some of that pencil work still showing up, because it gives kind of texture and grit and tooth. All right. So you can see how this little area here that I'm working on, this area here, how it's coming along. And you can noodle this for forever, actually. But you get a sense of where it's going. And when you get there, you start seeing kind of the three-dimensionality of what we're going to strive to create. And we will do that in the next stream, probably in a week. All right. So before we go, please let us thank our mods. Kirihiko is tuning in very late from Europe. And we also have Crispy Egg Roll and PK from California. Always very kind of them to be here for us. Make sure the Discord channel is working well. If those of you that are new, please join the Discord channel. There's also like weekly internet kind of exclusives that PK will drop for the group. And if you guys are looking for anything specific, he's the person to reach out to. And we're going to go raid somebody. We're going to go raid another creative. And so hopefully you guys can hang in there with me and jump over. We're all going to get on this virtual ship, go to this other site, jump off, and just create random chaos and shower them with love and appreciation. Right? So let me find out where we're going. Kirihiko is kind enough to do the research and find the appropriate folks. And so I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you again, Kirihiko, Crispy, and PK. And thank you all for coming in and tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in a week.